Are you making an assumption?
Because they still on your plate. Look at him.
I thought that too, but see, he was really, but came back and crushed them too.
You gotta understand.
That was the plan.
You eat in waves.
I shrunk my fat cells in my stomach so much. I eat one meal a day. I'm just coming off of a 3-day fast. This is my first meal in 3 days. So I space it out. Like I only can eat so much because my stomach will feel full. So earlier eating a sandwich, my stomach felt full. But I wanted to eat, needed to wait to finish the tomatoes.
Yeah, he's got this one problem.
Ooh.
About that 5-year-old. He's got some problem.
Mm-hmm.
Listening and
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, hey,
yeah, just like
don't swing on that like that. Oh, you see how high he was going
did
with
not
that?
see it till you said, whoa, whoa, whoa. Come on,
I hear it on the tree. I hear it pulling the
I got noticed it after you said it.
Yeah.
I noticed everything.
What's going on, brother?
Sound and the movement. He was going to get it.
You all right?
You looking tired.
Might get hurt on that though, bro. It might actually
You ready for a nap? You ready for some dinner? I don't know when y'all
What's
mumble.
wrong? You got yelling? What's wrong? Got in
I
trouble?
just can't hear 'em.
You just woke up from a nap? What's wrong? Huh? Your throat hurt? Did you get something to drink? Are you getting sick? What's wrong?
It just started hurting just now.
Did you eat something you weren't? Are you allergic?
Great outdoors. That postnasal drip started his throat. I'm not trying to predict it or anything, but that's part of it.
Or what? You bored? You want to go running? Something cool? Like what? Play video games? Like what? Play. I got a whole PC over there. I play video games every day. You trying to say I'm a baby? I'm somebody. I'm somebody. I'm so- old video games. What you trying to say? I'm playing Atari. I got the coolest games over there. I play Call of Duty. I play um all the games. All the games I play on my PC.
Grand Theft Auto, Roblox.
Hmm?
Those
Yup.
games
I
are-
play Minecraft. Yup.
Minecraft.
I got Minecraft on there. Yup.
You went from being okay to bored now. What do you do?
It is all this stuff that we can do. Look at this. This is the great outdoors.
Bring my Uno in.
We can go get some. We can go get some sticks and sword fight.
About the
We can go run around in the woods and pretend like we dinosaurs. You
I see
know?
a lot of cornhole here. Where are the beanbags for the cornhole?
They might be in the thing over there.
You want to play some cornhole?
You know, I do
I'm
not
playing
like.
that mumbling. I can't really understand what you just said.
See, the difference is when we were younger, we had to go find something to do before our parents found something for us to do. Most likely, they were gonna make us clean or something like that. So we never said we was bored when we was kids. We had to go make fun, had to go find something to do,
Go clean
or
up
our
the
parents
gazebo.
would make us clean up. My mom, my dad be like, "Oh, you bored?
That's you.
Okay, I got something for you to do." After they make you clean so many times, you'll come to the realization, like, man, I'm gonna go find me something to do.
Drew, Josiah said he's bored.
Who said they bored?
Josiah.
You want to run?
I'm telling him to go clean out go sweep that gazebo.
You want to ride on the 4-wheeler?
I take him to the clean. We're right on the phone.
Hey, Drew, you a farmer?
Yes, ma'am.
Let me see.
You shake your boy out.
Oh, you want to see your video?
Reggie.
I kind of
Oh, listen, your board kind of seems like a little attitude and not one of gratitude.
Nah, you did that. You did that. How you gonna point to him and say, "Boy"? Hey, he came charging after you after that. Hey, don't post that.
crazy.
Don't post that.
Oh no, man. That dude
Do
crazy.
not post that.
Is it the rooster coming?
You're crazy, man.
That's the rooster coming after you for real?
Yeah, you want to see it?
I do.
I provoked him a little bit. I provoked him a little bit.
He talking about
Blood, dirt.
he gonna point at the rooster and say, "Boy," and then the rooster charged after him after he said it. He talking about he provoked him a little bit. No, you might have provoked him a lot a bit. You might have provoked him. Did you see? He tried to make him fly. He tried to make Rooster. He tried to make Reggie fly.
Like you kicked him or something.
He tried to. He tried to make Reggie fly.
Listen, it's not animal
Hey,
cruelty. That dude
hey,
is a
yo,
uh-oh.
hey, hey, hey! Did you hear him? He said, mm,
But he didn't even.
mm.
He didn't even.
He didn't even stop him.
Yeah.
He didn't even.
Now I see why. Every time I go in there, he charge after me. He think it's you.
You probably do.
He think it's you. He's sitting there. He like, I'm gonna get you this time. I'm gonna get you this time. Every time I come in there.
Somebody he got punches.
Every time I go in there, I gotta take the broom in there and be like, get that, get that, get that.
And it's
Because he
one rooster, right?
Yeah, it's only one.
It's only-
Something like that. But right now, I just hatched 6 more chickens. So I
So
got
you gotta get a bigger plate. Cause can two roosters exist
they,
together?
not with
not with Reggie.
Say they're
Not with Reggie.
together.
but 2 roosters can. So you want to have a rooster like every 12 to 15 hens in theory.
In the same.
In the same, yep. And it depends on how they're raised. So like I got 6 chickens that I just hatched, and I don't know if they're roosters or hens yet, but I'm gonna find out. What's up, Shy? You here? Well, yeah, you up top or you down? You in the front?
Huh?
All right, I'm about to come up there right now. But y'all have but it depends on how you raise. So you can have 4 roosters inside of a hatch. They can all coexist. But
If they can coexist.
they will coexist if they're raised together.
Oh, they're raised. So this guy's a Lone Ranger.
He a long range. Yeah, he a long range. So we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do.
Got personality.
Because I got 12 more chickens to bring up. So
Oh, that's funny. Oh, there.
I was like, did he pick it?
Oh yeah, looks like he can't like play with it. He looks like he's baseball.
I say,
He's going to kick. He's got to go clean out.
he
No,
don't know. He don't know.
I would take him in first.
He don't know. He don't know. He going up to the chicken coop.
It's not him about him falling off. It's like you don't have permission. You don't
The
look
other
shot.
kid that he could take him because Tiffany
Oh yeah,
is
that's
at the house.
but they
But that other
he was
kid,
going to get everybody on the tractor or somewhere. All of them could ride. I said we don't have permission. And actually, that she said she's the godmother. I thought she was the mother because when I explained to him that I had walked up there to watch them because she was nervous, he would say, "You don't know my mother's name." And I said, "Well, she's back at the camp." So actually, that's not his mother. So Rose is not his mother's name is Rose. So the lady
the one who's out of my house is godmom.
is his godmother.
Okay.
So that's why he was. Well, that's not why he's in. And Tiffany said, "Oh, he's a grown man." When he was talking, and I told him, "I will pick you up. You can go." I would, and I said, "I would wrap him up so tight and bring him back up here if you do not listen to an adult." You don't know my mother's name. I can't. She said, "Oh, that's why he was saying that." I said, "Oh, okay, I get it." But and I would say he got an LISTENING problem, and he has an SHARING problem. They didn't share, and they had a sickle. They have a sickle up. Well, I guess it's not sickle. It's a machete. And so what her children all said, well, the machete is not something everybody can play with because we got the 2-year-old.
Right.
So I had some
It's
yeah,
gone.
I had some
One thing I would never do is waste food.
good for you. So I had some frisbee, so we started playing frisbee.
Yeah.
Growing up in a house of 13, you had to guard your plate.
Oh, that's what I'm teaching my children right now. Because they like to just leave food on the table and go play and think they're
Yeah, I
top
did that
to it.
when I took
Oh,
my kid.
So I had to tell them about my siblings. I said, like, you think you go to a bathroom, you might not come back to your full plate. So y'all playing games. Y'all think it's this sweet. I'm about to start eating y'all food myself just for
I took my kids the first time because my kids is in West Virginia and then my family's from New Jersey. The first time I took my kids up to Jersey to visit my family, we went to Chuck E. Cheese. I bought two pizzas, right? Bought two pizzas for everybody. Two pizzas. Why my kids ain't eat?
I too content.
They had their food in front of them. Everybody else ate everything. By the time my kids want to go try to eat their food, somebody else was already asking for it. And I was like, see, that's because y'all so used to just sitting there, taking y'all time, eating y'all food. You around my family, you gotta eat your food while it's there. Cause they want to take a bite.
somebody.
They took a bite and then they ran and played.
There's
Like they took a bite of the food and then ran to the thing and played. And then when they
let you do it there.
then when they came back, they said, "Yeah, at Chuck E. Cheese, because
I've
at
never.
Chuck E. Cheese is just like the fun zone and then the eating zone."
Okay.
So I had the food at the table, and I was like, "Everybody come eat." I'm not thinking. I'm not thinking like, "Oh, I know how my kid." I'm thinking like, "Okay, they're gonna get a slice of pizza, whatever." So they get their food, they take two bites of it, run and go play. When they come back, gone. Their pizza gone. Somebody else picked it up and ate it. Only thing that left is crust. And they looking at me like, "Dad, what happened? I didn't eat." I I seen you with a piece of pizza earlier. You didn't eat. I took a bite and then I want to go. That's your problem right there. Yeah, never walk away from food. If that food is there, you eat it while
Gotta
it's
eat it.
there.
Oh, that's funny.
I be putting grown folk problems right back in the children's, right back on their plate for them to eat the problem up because these children are funny. They're so funny. They're hilarious. And if you play along with them, you're gonna drive yourself crazy.
Mm-hmm.
So they will like they'll eat some food. They man, they're partially greedy, and that's why I started. I just be giving them asking. I'll be like the hungry child eats, because I'm not by sit here and defend your food for you, because they'll eat a
Oh, that's funny.
nah, because they'll have a bite in their hand. They want to fight the other child that's eating. Oh, I want days off it. All this other stuff. All this. You're not. You have food right in front of you, so you're not hungry. So I started doing. I found out how Jesus fed all them people with wealth. Was it like
5 loaves
five
and
loaves?
3 fish.
It blessed.
Uh-huh.
Oh, it was like two. Whichever way, five fish and two loaves. Or
Okay.
whichever way you go. But I found out how he did it.
How do you do it?
He ministered to their spirit for so long. He kicked a bobo with them so long, was wrapping them up for so long that they didn't notice how long they've been fasting. To the point when you fast, your stomach shrink.
That's what he's saying.
So your stomach, they stomach shrunk so much in that sitting of just sitting and hearing him minister to their spirit that once they, after being ministered to the spirit like that, once they just ate that little piece, whatever little offering they got, they were fulfilled. They were actually more full than as if they just sat for a whole feast.
Well, you don't believe that the loaves that there was multiplication.
Oh, it was a multiplication spiritually.
You don't believe that the fish
It was a real fish
and the real bread.
it's possible. I don't know. I wasn't there for that chapter of the story. I have faith that it manifested how the Allah manifested it at that time for people to bear witness to it the way they bear witness.
Oh, okay.
Shit.
Well, there is a part of it that says that there was after everybody ate, they took up the leftovers that and it filled up so many baskets of food. That's what I was like, literal. So one person described it as he break the fish in half or the loaf in half, and then it would like if you break it in half, then that would grow a head, and this one would grow a tail. So that it actually was real food. But I see what you're saying about the. I never thought about it being um, just spiritual. Hmm. So we got a meeting at 6 o'clock. So I need to go get ready. Let me tell my Rico, stop picking at old folks.
Oh, come
Uh,
on. Never do that. I would never do that.
Making us learn technology. We're gonna learn technology. Yeah, we are. We don't resist it. I don't resist it. I just don't like to tinker.
And to be real, I mean, if you just talking about you have some ideas or something you're talking about.
Oh yeah. I gave you my to Mr. McGill. Tell him I said hello. I hadn't talked to him in a while. I'm trying to think the last time we talked what he was doing at that particular time. But yeah, we're not. I'm technology lazy, but not technology.
That way sometimes too. One thing I would say is AI for y'all, and for one, my elders told me it's ancestral intelligence. But AI for y'all is not about, learning technology. It's about learning technology, learn you, and learn how to translate the wisdom to that. And allowing you to pick it up, write it, allowing you to be your typewriter, your editor, allowing you to actually be able to translate your living story before you pass.
Let me ask you, how old are you? How many years have you lived?
32.
32 years. So I told you I've had my doctorate this year will be 38 years ago. So I started my doctorate in 1985. So and finished it in 88. At that particular time, I was in educational psychology. Well, we talked about artificial intelligence. So that's why it's to me it's laughable that we're talking about it now like it's so different than what we understood years ago because artificial intelligence it's artificial because it's patterned after the real brain.
Yeah.
So the idea that what we really are talking about, like it's a person, like it's an entity, is what human beings have put together into and gathered all this for billions of people. Like for instance, the way they described it, the way the Chinese were doing it for years, where they had actual people hooked up to electrical devices, similar to what Walt Disney did with the Hall of Presidents, where he connected himself and he mimicked all the movements, and the computer registered that. So we've been for years using artificial intelligence, but now it's like it, it's laughable because it's always been, or at least as far as I like started in 1985, we talked about it because the real intelligence is patterned after the human brain. So here is
Thank you.
this
Thank you.
gigantic universe of data that human beings have created and put it in a machine and made it fast enough to produce it. But it's a joke to me. So it's guys, it's artificial because we're the real intelligence.
Right. That's what makes it.
That's
In order for it to be artificial, it has to have an original source. It's like an authentic or
It's ancestral.
yeah, it's like a
that. It's not.
like when something's fake, it's called artificial.
So much about that though is the aspect of how it's being wielded now in a different way because it's been there. But now with different ways you can manifest it basically with the images.
Well, let's say
Where
manipulate.
you gotta go?
So because remember Star Trek, okay, how Gene Roddenberry
rather tell him go.
or
But he actually
who was
wanted.
that they were talking about?
The porta potty.
Houdini,
Uh,
people who pre not
we got them all sprayed and cleaned out before the event, so all of them are clean.
so the artificial part or the fact that it is are there billions and trillions and quadrillions.
Look, it's turning out pretty good. Look, they over here with their class. They got their class going on over here. You see? Look, they got. See, look, they outside with electronics, laptops, everything. See? Y'all make it seem like it can't be done. It can be done. Look, outside with the laptops, everything still being a part of nature, still being a part of society, and still doing, social media, still everything. You don't have to disconnect yourself to be a part of nature. You don't have to disconnect yourself to be a part of nature. You could just be a part of nature. Well, we got people out here. They got their tents out, right? Got people hanging out, you know? Even on the other side, like right there, you got them over there. You got tents over there across. You got tents over there, right? Got people down there by the water. Got kids out, you know, by the water. See? Everybody out and about. Beautiful day.
And I'm not talking about literally. I'm just meaning because see, people can play games. Like, we're not saying that. I'm saying is the 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 use of this technology has been, or it was used this way. So here's all this data about medication. Here's all this data about cancer, just in a computer program, and they would say, "Can we get use this formula to attack this?"
Yeah.
Now, whether that's a cure, actually, there's anytime you cure something or stop something, you're gonna stop somebody's revenue cycle, revenue stream. We're in the capitalist society.
Of course.
So how you gonna get people to stop being capitalists? So if there's money to be made,
Somebody's gonna make
somebody's
it.
gonna make it. So and they don't mind taking advantage of somebody else or stealing from somebody else or something like that. But all I'm saying is that I am a supporter of artificial intelligence and any aspect of technology because it bridges gaps. It helps with, like, someone was telling me she couldn't walk, but there was this uh basically a wheelchair that can she can stand up.
Right.
And so like she's like, wow, look at what I can do, but I can't walk, but I this machine. We love it, we use it. So all I was just saying is, Rico, just do it. I don't really want to sit here and tinker. And you could do it in 2 minutes as you want me to sit there and learn, and I have no interest. That's the other thing. Like I got a bad attitude about it. I don't have an interest in that. Well, what are you interested in, Dr. King? I'm interested in grant writing. That's what better go. I'm gonna go ahead and talk to this team about grant writing, about the whole process, about all the things you need to be.
Yeah,
I got
hey,
packets.
that's like an assistant. That's how I think. It's like some type of way that could benefit you doing research.
What we do, we put we could type in, tell it, okay, but you
Yeah.
gotta be real specific with the prompts. I was telling my team member the other day, he said, "Oh, Dr. King, what I put in there, it took it in a whole different direction." So I showed him, this is another thing, before you guys were born, we used to, they call it DIY search. We used to have to pay for what we can do in 2 minutes,
Right.
but you had to be so specific. They taught you how to write your prompts. You all cannot believe that. Like they used to teach us how to write the prompts
Right.
because all of it was based on time. So the more time you were searching, the more cost.
Oh,
So they actually had to teach us how to write prompts. And now you could write all these prompts, and you
right,
can
right.
write 5 or 6.
It
Now ask me
democratizes.
this, or ask Gemini and Claude and ChatGPT.
It democratizes a lot of stuff though because you can get more done. One person
can
can
get
get
more
more
done.
done. So that's really the
And that's what you're saying. We advocate for it. So no, when I say I don't want Rico, I don't want you to try to teach me that. Because there's a lot of other things that I already know how to do. A lot of other things I'm good at.
right, right,
That's not one. And plus, why'd you teach me? You could do it in 2 minutes.
right.
Take me 2 hours or 2 years, and I'm not interested. So just do it. That's what I mean. So the people really know me. So that
I
thing,
got you.
we're not gonna use your brain that way.
Who sequel started this? So
No, he
who
was
sequel
taking it
started? Yeah, yeah.
really
I know.
something serious. Okay, we got to go to work, Ralphie. You see him and snore, act like he's snoring. I came up here to talk about Grant. I gotta go. We gotta leave at 6 o'clock.
Okay,
So
it was nice to meet you.
fortunately, I've already put our packets together, so all I gotta do is go up here and.
I got a beautiful grant book. I'll let you see before you leave.
Okay. What's a grant book?
Grant writer who lives in DC who stars
Am I a part of this meeting? I didn't get the memo.
See, asked you yesterday where you gonna be there, and you said yes. It's tomorrow at 6 o'clock. When we were over there.
That was for the that was for the the smoke lounge. I mean the sweat lodge, right?
Oh no, I didn't think it was 4 o'clock. 6 o'clock. I'm sorry. You didn't get the text message thread,
It was a text message thread. What you talking about, Willis?
Mr. Coble.
I definitely didn't get no text message thread. Let me just ask Rex. Let me just. No, not yet. But I see Drew here. I think I am, but I don't want to make an assumption. Last time I made an assumption, I made an ass out of myself.
We don't want that.
Exactly. I don't think Rex is here yet.
I can walk. Oh.
You know your Say it again. I don't. Huh? I don't know.
Yeah, right. Oh, it's so weird.
Wait, Gorilla Glue?
She was just so.
That lady messed her whole head up putting that girl. Yes, yes. I gotta get. It has some smooth to it, and it gotta be bent back to the metal. I'll try to, I'll try to get something for it. If it's gonna come off with the wind, it's gonna rip more with the wind if you drive. Yeah, it's gonna pull more. Yeah, I see you came right back to that dirt. All right, gonna get some wingworm. You don't care, do you? It's okay. Go ahead.
Rex will let me know. I don't want to intrude on a meeting that I might not be involved in. You know what I mean? If I just walk over, I know they're not gonna be like, "Hey, you're not a part of this." So I know they're gonna let me. You know what I mean? But I don't want to. If I didn't, if it was a,
Where's this? Oh, it's
it's
on.
at his house. No, it's right there at his house.
Okay.
But if I was invited, then
Okay. Yeah,
everything is for everybody. I know how to play my part, play my role.
the way, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna play my role.
Y'all doing a session in there? Yeah, yeah. I was just asking. I was. What is? Application or? Oh, right. You be for angel cards or any particular type of card? The reason why I asked, I do that all that too. But I wanted to present you guys with a gift. Okay. So I don't know who are cards. I definitely will. Nice to meet you. So I want to give this to you guys. These are spirit animals. Same as reading cards, stuff like that. I do, but I don't like doing that because some of y'all leave booby traps and stuff in y'all mind, and then when I stumble across it, then I gotta walk away with that demonic entity that you left at that booby trap. If that makes sense. But it makes sense. No, see, when you open yourself up for a reading, you can't determine what comes to me, and I can't determine what to receive. So when you open yourself up for a reading, you're opening up your pioneer to the other person. Now, that's why I don't do readings. I respect it. So if it would be a basis if I just read your mind without action, right? But if you tell me to pull a card on it, give me permission to go into I've been reading wrong. Hard is making feel comfortable and making the person that's doing it, right? Just like the crystal ball. Crystal ball is to make the human feel comfortable. The spirit is what's reading, but the human ball is to make the human is to make you feel comfortable to make you think this is coming from this ball instead of me. You know why? If you think it's coming from me, you more, right? Not you guys, not you guys. But I'm just saying, you knew that I was reading your mind. You knew that I was, and your, you would be like, hold on. You don't think that makes sense? But you got to understand, people want a reading. They don't want the truth. That reading, that no. I'm not saying you. I'm not saying you. I'm saying people, right? People, when I'm online, people say, "Oh, give me a reading, give me a reading," right? But then when I read them, then it's like nobody asked you to bring up that. Nobody asked you to do. You asked for a reading. It's the people. It's the people. If you have good vibrational people coming to you, you don't have to worry about that. They already did the shadow work. But when you got people who are stuck in their works and don't know how to get out, feel like they lost their way to spirituality and they're trying to use you, now you got to deal with all the demons that they accumulate or lower vibrational entities that they accumulate. So a lot of people that are looking for a reading are not open to it. That makes sense? Because they didn't do the work that they were supposed to do in order to get that reading. They're still in a dark place. So the reading comes off, the reading work comes off of them will be a darker reading because they're still in that place doing shadow work, a personality. A lot of people, a lot of people seek a reading, it's because they're already there, right? Their journey already led them that way. So when they seek it, they're usually already trying to right a lot of mistakes. They're not trying to keep on. But the people that are coming to me sometimes, they already in an argumentative state. They already fighting. They already going through something, whether it be in their house, whether it be domestic, whether it be whatever, they're already going through something. 9 times out of 10, when somebody's fighting with something in the physical world, they're fighting with something inside themselves. So for you to do a reading on somebody already presented their fight to the physical world, that means they're still fighting with something inside. Masculine side, feminine side, whatever side, they're already going through a fight. So that reading. So now I do back where though it's not particularly to one person, but it's for the collective of the reading that I'm getting at and whoever it corresponds to. As opposed to on individual, that person's not gonna like stuff. Drew, is that meeting at 6? It is, or yeah, I don't know what we're doing. I might. Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
I think the Rex get back yet? I didn't. He said it was a meeting. I didn't get no text message from no people. I don't know if I'm a. I sent it out and said, I don't want to true. I'm gonna stay out. I'm gonna stay out here. Wait until keep on out and get ready now. I'm tired of talking, bro. That's what I'm about. Like, we need to beg it. What up, girl? Yeah, I think it's not. Yeah. Give me. I'll send you some. You got Apple?
Do, 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 do. Do, 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 do. You know, I know, I know. You're not interested. Y'all not interested in peace. Y'all interested in chaos. We don't want peace. We want problems. That's how y'all be acting. Y'all do not want peace. You want problems. I know. I know. Y'all was banking on y'all was banking on that negative this weekend, wasn't y'all? Y'all was hoping that it turned out to be a bust, didn't y'all? Y'all was praying on my downfall. And now look, y'all gotta watch it work. I know. Y'all thought y'all had it figured out. Y'all thought y'all can set me up for failure. Y'all thought. Y'all thought. That's why I told y'all. Y'all can sit there and try to make whatever narrative y'all want, try to do whatever spin-offs y'all want, but we still winning. We still winning in the physical. We stayed true. We seen through all the bullshit, and we still winning. And that's what got y'all so mad, is that create, y'all can't create the negative that y'all want to create. And no matter how hard y'all try, we just keep pushing forward, keep pushing past it, keep doing better. Now look at us. Now look at us. Doing better, looking better, feeling better, all things better. What's going on? All things better. Yeah, doing better. Got a lot of spiritual people out here, a lot of people that's in tune. We got a group out here doing Reiki and, grounding, meditation. We got a group out here doing a class over there by the canopy. Everybody out here with their tents, set up looking nice. You can see it. See, but a lot of those negative people, they're gonna act like they don't see it. because they only want to see the negative. They ain't gonna look at how everything turned out. They ain't gonna look at like, oh snap, he did it. He doing it. They doing it. They making it happen. Look, tents over there. You know what I'm saying? Got a group over there. Got tents right here. Got cars over there. Got cars over there. People over there. It's everything. It's everything. You know what I'm saying? Uh, Everything turned out nice. Despite the hate, it still turned out nice. Despite all the hate. Look, got people over there. Turned out nice. So y'all sitting there talking about, oh, he's doing this, he's doing that. Shit. We being real. Y'all the ones that's not. We being real. Y'all the ones that's not being real. At least we real about it. You know? We real about what's going on. Y'all cap. And it turned out nice. He said he had some over there at the. Look how nice it turned out. Got people out here doing classes, but he out here doing a whole class. He's got he's got his class out here, and he's out in nature. So you see, they all got their laptops and stuff out. See, they all got their laptops and stuff out. See, holding class.
Huh? You can't see none of that?
Can't go wrong. Ain't bad. You can't be mad at the turnout. Can't be mad at the turnout. Hmm. And it still turned out good, Sandra. You hear me? It still turned out good. They hate it. They try to do everything to make it fail, try to get in the way, and it still turned out good. Turned out good. Where's my Cobos Landing shirt? Let me put my Cobos Landing shirt on so people can know. People can know I'm Cobos Landing. You hear me? Let me go get my Cobb's Landing. Where my Cobb's Landing shirt?
I probably could go down. I wasn't going to do that. It get cool. Huh? It does get cool. Okay. At night. Yeah, I figured. So I slept a little, but I probably just get in there and rock out or let it be open. Right.
Man, that lady going through all that shit. You like it bigger? You like it bigger? You like it small? Good.
You see that? Hmm? Mm-hmm. 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 Man, now he got me out here in black. Let me get out the sun. Let me get over here and get out the sun. Oh, what it say? It says blood, dirt, and honey. Camp farm and bees. It says blood, dirt, and honey. Camp farm and bees. Yeah, yeah. I did all that hating. Do all that hating. And look at us. Y'all did all that hating. And look at us. All that hating y'all did. And we still made it. Despite all y'all hate. Mhm. I was just trying to get out the sun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was trying to get in the way of your camera. I see you on your thing.
Yeah, you good. I'll just turn it this way.
True on your.
Nah, you good. You good. It ain't even a session. I'm just showing them the outcome, like how many, you know what I mean? Like, so I do the little sessions back in the
Give me your joints, bro.
on YouTube or on what
Wherever you want. Let me see. The best way to do this. Yeah, just go to each. Which
I
one?
got a card. You could just go to YouTube. Yeah, I got a card. I got to go get the card. It's up there. Just put in Ralph DaWise on Ralph DaWise, RalphDawise,
DA.
DAWise.
After wise, you pop up.
It should pop up live right now.
Gotcha.
That's on YouTube.
Live. Now live.
Yeah,
Subscribe, homie.
yeah. And then the other one is Ralph DaWise on TikTok too. But I got same name. I just got the other one. That's where I do my social media management. So it's like I got other accounts over there too. But
Yeah, yeah.
Ralph DaWise is the one that's on both. So it's easier to just
We locked in.
yeah.
Brethren, let me get your information too, man. What's your you on social? On social.
I'll grab some. I got when I walk back over to the RV, I'll grab some cards. That way I could pass out some cards so everybody so people can find it easier.
Ogun. Okay, Ogun. Period fitness. Say it again. Ogun period fitness. Are they to go? So now this image, this video is like this. But AI, actual AI. You can't say it's me. You don't have to be a because right now it's about the world. You say that, you know what I mean? You create this one. Get to see Red Bull on some I am life this type of content. Look at that.
What's up with y'all? Mm. Uh, Where's the bush babies at? All the people hiding in the bushes, hoping for something negative. Pop out. Pop out. Oh, let me run over here and grab some hard to take this with me. That way nobody gets discouraged. Think I'm watching them or something. Yo, we winning. We winning, Atlas family. We are winning. Look, it's people, it's people all over, you know. They tried to make it fail. They wanted to try to, get our minds off of it. They wanted to try to make us think about something that nah, we focused, you know. More people coming out. It's gonna be great. What's going on with you? How you, Ralph?
Ralph, right?
I got a live going. That's why I turned it that way. I didn't want to put y'all in it. My fault. Y'all have a great one. Turn out good. I ain't gonna put nobody on the camera that don't want to be on it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna show nobody that don't want to be on it. Respect people' privacy, even though, you know, they want to know what vehicle I drive. They'll love to try to get the plate number on that car. Huh? No, no, no.
It's like this that their cousin's mother done left them down the year that don't know how to develop it, can't grow it, don't have no youth that's willing to come down on it and build it up from it. That's the story of most of our elders. How many youth do you know are trying to be some type of healer, holistic, that don't really have a clue in the long run? They have a clue that that's what they're called to be, and they're not wrong. But there's so much experience missing between the gap of where they are and where they're professing themselves to be. And they're professing themselves to be because that's part of the manifestation loop that we're in right now, where people call themselves the name of what they want to do, and spirit just force them to be that until they finally become that. But it's still, you really want to, what we want is, we want to get the elders that have land like this and have been doing the work. We want to pick one elder in every city has a landmass like this and has been doing good community work. We want to create a trust and a partnership with them and say, we want to come and build on this land for the next 50 years. During this 50 years while we're building, we can't kick us off or nothing like that for any false or egotistical or economically fueled reasons. But while we're on this land, we're going to build up this land and take this land that might be worth something not much. By the time we build up one barn dominium, put a well in the ground, we've already made the property $1 million property that she can now take out equity on. We've already created a very vast investment, but that's just the start of. We're gonna build temples. There's gonna be a nippy sweat lodges. There's gonna be, you feel me, birthing centers. We're gonna be able to build up, and then this is so This is called the twin pillar protocol. Every council, what they're going to do is be initiating the twin pillar, which is more towns and more villages. More towns is like Chinatown, Little Haiti, Africa. It's an economic district within the city limits where we're building together. And the way that we identify which space does melanated people own the most amount of businesses and capital in each city district? Okay, everybody, we just send a mass. Everybody that wants to start a business, buy there. By the time we own 80% of that area code, we can now elect a mayor in that area code that will give us and permit us to put up banners and signage of our own likeness and image. Cool. Now, Moore Village is like this. This would be a Moore Village. You know, somewhere within an hour of the city limits that we could get a bus or something, transportate people back and forth, where we have food source. We plant food here. We have water sources, a well. We have living accommodations for people that can't afford to live in the cities. We have cabins. We have a system where we can take people through rites of passage to go back onto the land, put their feet in the dirt, take deep breaths, look at the sun, go through even mess need to if they're going through some drug addiction need to go through some type of detoxification process to get their mind right. Like you said, for people that you can't talk to, sometimes you got to let the plant medicine talk to them, and then they can finally come back to themselves so you can have that real conversation with them. So it's like everything, if I feel like spirit is giving us an answer, but we just got to come into community with each other to actually actualize it, because we don't know how much assets we really have until we all come into the room and say, these are my assets, these are my assets, these are my assets, and I'm willing for us to all use it for the future of all of our children, for the future of all of us.
That's a good plan.
So the beautiful part about the plan is it shows us that we already have all the wealth we need for the people who are willing to commit to the same mindset. And I'm just listing all the mindsets, the people at this type of, we will all agree to my plan. Like I went through, like, I'm the one that structured the whole trust and agreement, just because I want to make sure it was something that we could all agree to across, across the religious lines, across, you feel me, different barriers that we all feel so fixated on, that is not on the same level of the important thing that we're all dealing with. The fact that we are all looked at as less than an inferior in some way, and I'm not even saying that we in any way are, but that there's even been some stigma of them even trying to profess that into the world.
Will you take those with you and thing? I don't make sure we leave it nice.
we're all we're all being marginalized. We're all being put into a category. We're not being looked at as individual. We're not being looked at as sovereign human beings. We're not being looked at as ourselves. So
Do you really experience that on a day-to-day basis?
do I. The crazy part about it is I gotta still keep the fire in my belly, because I'm so good at being a chameleon and blending in, or at, you feel me, handling what I have to handle no matter what or who or what's going on, that I can, like, whether the system changed or not, I still cut my way all through the system and do what I gotta do right now on this earth. But at the same time, that don't mean it's not wrong every time somebody is falling prey to the system, because they don't know the ways that I've learned on this road. So it's like, at the same time, it's like, nah, they can't catch me now. But at the same time, I don't like the fact that I see a lot of my brethren still falling prey to the same rat racing traps that they've been perpetuating.
In the back,
Are you walking? Are you walking? Okay, so did you go back there where the plants are, which is the garden?
Peace and love.
No mind.
Hey, how's everything?
Right, back to the I didn't see that.
Greetings from North Carolina.
Okay, I think I seen.
Wow, it's right. Oh, it's going beautiful. It's going, that's the house that
I know I tell you, too much going on too. Like I don't think. I mean, I could, but I'm glad I don't have to.
I'm good.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's pretty. I work way too from out here. So, do you experience? Like, I listen to a lot of melanated people, and I think a lot of the questions really in your mind. Like, that's just the question. I'm just like,
like the brother said though, it's like I feel like I can navigate,
mhm,
so I can disarm a lot of, you know what I mean? My aura maybe too, though, whatever it is, but nah, I really don't.
me neither.
Yeah.
I don't because I'm big. See, I think the problem is we don't understand that everybody puts stuff through.
Right. Oh yes,
Everybody puts
yes.
stuff. You think that white dude
Yes.
at your job is
Right.
like,
They master that. That's what we need to know.
he's
Exactly. But
he's not being himself at work.
that's
They don't pay you to be yourself. They pay you to come into my office for 8 hours and do what the fuck I ask you to do. I don't care about your behavior. I don't give a shit about your kids. I don't care about your background. I don't care about your history. I don't care. And that's the mistake.
care about the bottom line performance or what value you bring to them and what problems you're not causing.
What?
That's it.
To me, and I even make the shit out of others because they're like,
Nah,
but
I don't get that. But I feel like he said though, I feel like, you know, it's a
Yeah.
blessing. It's a blessing to be able to navigate it.
We're all riding those.
Right.
We're all jumping in.
But some people don't get it though.
They don't.
They don't get it. They
want to
too
keep it
stuck.
real.
They're not
Keep it broke. I'm not with that.
understanding the world.
I don't think God put all this beautiful abundance on earth for me not to enjoy everything.
That's right.
Every bit.
That's right. I mean, I could think there's probably a mindset too though, because I don't look for that. I feel like I'm gonna be good. Like I'm gonna navigate. I'm supposed to. I know everything don't go my way, but as far as all that extra, no. It's just I live a regular life.
So I listen to some stuff. Like, is it really like that? Is that the snow brand?
Yes,
It's
right.
kind of warm.
This is how
Look at my feet. Look like an 11-year-old going in the house.
No. I was like, just go back. Go back.
This is so beautiful. I just couldn't like.
Yeah.
I was going to be over there filming for sleep mouth. Oh, I'm getting tests like, did you get this? Oh my God.
So we doing some extra live.
Yeah, just making sure he's got some stuff. Bruh, I'll do it when I rise.
Nah, I saw you over there. I looked up. I was like,
out.
over there like,
Oh.
I was like,
I just told my mom, I was like, dude, when I come out here next time, I'm at me a chair like that. Zero,
yeah, yeah.
zero gravity. That's what.
So thankful and peaceful.
Mm.
It's good vibes. Everybody.
So,
They like to have fun. So when I see them, I'm like, yo, they like to have fun because they
he lets them be free, and I think that's so cool because I'm so get dirty.
right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So I'm just
And that's
learning.
right. Just letting them be kids.
Yeah, let it be kids. Let them be kids.
There's all that restriction. You know, we grew up in my generation. That's what the parents. Yeah,
Like, don't touch that. Don't do that.
yeah.
You know, people are looking at you.
You dirty. How you get so dirty?
Exactly. Like,
Right.
smell like outside.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. My mother was like not an outside person anyway. She's very girly, like to the point that it's like she didn't really understand the nature of boys who are. I mean, not she wasn't dumb to it, but you know what I'm saying. Yes,
I'm like probably the girliest girl ever, and it's like you're dirty though.
yeah.
I'm like, that might be sweat.
That's why. Well, like to the point about
What do you smell like?
right,
What an idiot.
right. And yeah, like even with my son, my mother would be like, so just put the throttle on, and I'm like, "Oh, chill out, chill out." She's like, "This is a boy. You gotta do that." One time she was like, "What if he?" She's trying to stop. I was like, she's like, "He might get hurt." I was like, "Well, if he gets hurt, A learning lesson.
No, but that's like mothers were so much better. As soon as I come to the table,
Right.
baby, it's just
Right.
you just
That's
it's
the
just
nature.
it's on it. It's just
That's why it takes both though.
it really
That's
does.
why it does.
It really does, cause yeah, it really does. Cause like in my house, I've never had to do masculine things, and I look at my friends that are like single. I look at all the masculine shit they do, like, you know, like you take my trash. Like
Yeah.
in our house is very like you're the woman. My husband and my son don't let me do anything like you're gonna lift that. Like in my mind, it doesn't even resonate. Yeah, it is. That's the way it should.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's when we're in our proper
Yeah.
order.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. Who cares for a second? You know,
That's what my sister, she's so like with my son, I wanted to be the complete opposite of my mother. She's very neat. Middle child. She can't even when I was growing up, she get in the shower with me, slide down. Like, I'm not for work. Like she just thinks her children are like her little possessions.
oh yeah, yeah.
So now we all live in the same subdivision.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So she's still
What?
involved.
She's not doing it. She got married. We all there. We have 4 homes in the same subdivision.
Okay.
So she's not letting anybody in the house she's paying. We all like, thank God. You know, ask for a day.
Fun.
But growing up with a mother that was so like doting made me really get my son. Like my son has lived all over the world. He's like, go, get away from me. You go and explore and you know what I mean? He's been he's living in Thailand now. He just got back from Finland. He lived in England, all over Europe. Yeah, I'm just like, go.
That's beautiful.
Yeah. And people were saying, how do you let him go? And he has asthma. So I'm just gonna kill him in the house every day, just gonna slowly die.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
With
I'd
the
rather
wrap,
him
bubble wrap it up.
exactly. That's how we think as a society.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, right. He's gonna leave just when he's contracted to go.
It's like with my mother. She's like so much about like don't break toys and things like that. It's like push me to the opposite side, which I'm not happy until I buy it. If it's not broken, it means they ain't like it. To me,
That's so
to
awful.
me, they didn't break it, they ain't like
That's what. Oh, I like that idea.
it. Yeah, I mean, I'm
That's cool.
definitely like that. I was like, okay, cool. Yeah, yeah, you have to. That's like, especially little boys, so they wanna. They just struck.
And I
It's
look
like,
at my sister with my nephew, it just kills me. I'm just thinking, he's like a fucker. He's 13 years old. My
oh,
God. Leave him alone. I would take him places. She was like, don't get his shoes dirty. Yeah, okay. Well, don't send him with me because we jumping in every pile of dirt, mud we see. We rolling down hills. It's just, yeah, I just look at how, to me, a lot of mothers, they're destroying.
yeah.
And they can't help it because they have this
It's a
fear.
generational curse, like passed down. It's how we act. It's how we act.
We
It's
see
how we act.
both
Right.
relationships.
Yeah.
You always think that somebody's gonna hurt them.
Everything is gonna. Yeah. Everything is
It's a
bad.
problem.
Go over there, you're gonna get hurt. So do this, you're gonna get hurt. Do this, you're gonna get hurt. Like, okay.
And then we put all that fear in our sons with their sons because I don't move like that. I'm like,
Yeah. No. I mean, just to think on. I'm glad that it was. I was always conscious of that, though. I think like I was always like I would hear my
how
mother
many
say.
brothers?
I have like one younger brother.
So it's just you and a younger brother.
Yeah,
She
younger
had two
brother.
boys.
Yeah, 2 boys. My brother's like the opposite. Like I'm like your son. Like I was to the point where like when it was 18, I was like, I'm out. As soon as I graduated from high school, I'm like, I'm out. I'm out. So I was college,
I was kidding.
another state.
Do something. Do something.
Right. I want to be out in another state, you know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
On an adventure. I did not want to be, you know what I mean? I wanted to get out, get away, see the world, like you saying, like your son.
Everywhere I like, I never bought. I wasn't into Jordans and
Yeah.
$480 shoes. I was like, no, we going to
Right. We share.
spring break
Oh,
where he.
yeah.
I mean, for my son, it was
it was just because by the time I got out of high school, I'd been to a country when I was like, oh, if we could just give a gift of being open-minded to our children and experience. So I always gave my son experiences. It was just important that he had experiences. And I watched parents like they would spend all that money on graduation gifts, and I'm like,
Right.
we're not having a party. You going to
Right.
Galapagos Island somewhere?
And they enjoyed. I heard like I've heard it a couple times, like in probably the last 6 months, where people saying that the best memories are trips and things like that,
Mhm.
not like gifts, like
Oh
those
yeah,
get broken. Like I said, you want them to tear up the toy or do this, or they're gonna lose it or get tired of it. But that trip or something like that,
yes,
experience is gonna live with them forever.
yeah.
Always.
Then how old is your son?
That's I have a 28 and
Mhm.
29 and an 8-year-old.
Mine is 29. He turned 29 this weekend. Like, God, do you know?
Yeah, yeah.
What's that saying? No, you stay my baby. No, he yeah, I was determined like we tripping everywhere. It's a plane going. You on it?
Yes.
But I didn't buy him like he didn't. My son's very spoiled.
Yeah, yeah.
He care less about a pair of Jordans. But I looked at my sister. She was buying her son things, and I'm saying he needs to. But it's very interesting because the spirit knows what it's here for. My nephew never wanted to live overseas. He never wanted, and he died very young. Like he knew where he had to be because that was his destiny. He turned 21 July 13th, and he was murdered August 21st. It was just like, yeah, and I had begged him, why don't you go with Jari? Why don't you go live in London? We'll send you to London. You know,
Kind of like me, because I was like that with my nephew. My son was in college, but my nephew, which is a year older than him, I was just still there encouraging him, man, why don't you get out? I'll help you. Let's do it. Let's get up out of here. We're gonna do it. But
but
that's
they have known his death.
yeah, no,
My nephew could have gone. My
yeah,
sister said,
If y'all interested.
yeah. See what they got going on. I don't know. I'm about to.
I did enough just going back to explain again.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh,
Uh,
yeah. I think we're.
yeah, it's definitely an escape from reality.
What's going on?
You know,
you get sweaty in there. You sweaty, come out wet. So
yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where he had is like those
The
hot
way he got it, he's got the blankets set up over it, everything like that.
small
And
areas.
you're gonna go in there, you're gonna sit down, and you're gonna sweat. He put the
cold.
Hot
lava,
stones.
the hot stones in there. Put once he put the hot stones in there, that steam,
Right.
it's a wrap.
Okay,
Wrap. Yeah.
we'll walk up here real quick.
Enjoy.
Thanks. I'm Rico, by the way. What's your name?
Ginger.
Ginger. Nice to meet you.
Nice to
Yeah.
meet you.
I don't know who else wanted to do it. I think he just picked the same. He picked the same time that they're having the meeting.
Mhm.
So I'm trying to like wait for them to get out the meeting,
Mhm.
so that way he can have more people can get a chance to do it. If you do it now, nobody's
Can he do it?
nobody's available.
Mhm.
You want to do it before it get too late. Like
Gotcha.
once it get dark back there, you're not going to want to do it.
Okay.
Well, we don't have the lights back there for a night sweat.
Gotcha.
Don't have the lights back there. But I'm trying to see if anybody else want to do it. He told me to come over here and see. And he done waited so late. I'm not sure if I want to do it.
Mhm.
I don't know if I
You
want
do
to.
it tomorrow.
I thought he was going to try to do it tomorrow morning at 9, but
Huh.
I don't know if they leaving tomorrow or
This.
early.
Hi. He's gonna
They're
start.
trying to- I think they're still doing the class over there. Now is that an AI technology going on different variations with like Matt breaking down images, putting together.
this year and like give you choices. So it's like whatever you like or whatever you can get on there. What you doing? It's work.
Have the AI assist you or whatever.
What you have a 100 days. But you have 100. You have one agent. You have another agent. One out. You can have. Yes, you can. I don't know how it is. Some of the facts, 10 employees work for the system. Secretary, phone call, cooking with appointment, marketing, creating content, blogging. You have a podcast, you don't even have a platform, you just run a play, put some information that you want to blog about into an app, that create a conversation we put into like a podcast application. And two people get talking.
I do social media management. Like helping people build like TikTok and YouTube stuff like that. So I got like monetization and helping like showing people how to get involved with like TikTok. They bring in Facebook and everybody. What do you have to do? Like if you're a live host, how do you make money?
But see, you can have your class. You learn that class system. Because he's looking for 72 people to go out. So
That's what I do right now, but I do it through like my own little form, like Linktree, putting a Linktree together, helping people put the Linktree together, helping people like link all of their social media accounts, helping people like do all of that, and then Google Files.
what exactly it is you might struggle with in your business. And once you learn this information, you're like, oh, I'm gonna plug that little platform in right here. I don't gotta do that no more. And you just slowly integrate it into what you don't want to do no more. So now, I don't know how many clients, instead of having 10 clients, we have 50 clients. So that's just, it's how you scale. That's what you do.
I wanted to sit in with a guy when I got here. They were so preoccupied. I didn't get a chance.
I can't sit down. Because he's looking for 72. Eat the ice with a bud. I'm about to eat some water with a bud.
Okay, so he's got the what you call him going on. He's got the class going on for AI assistants, like to help with the AI and everything like that. So that's what that class is over there. That's a good class. Let me go. Let me go get y'all in here. I got a YouTube live going on. Do you mind if I sit it here so they can listen? I'm not going to face it. I'm going to face it out that way. It's not facing anybody. It's facing the lake. It's not facing anybody.
All of that from me, just loosely. Still don't know what I'm doing properly with this, but I've kind of got that kind of flow, kind of going through ChatGPT routing my ideas to the right kind of tool to get it done what I want. So yeah, that's how I'm kind of using it without fully really understanding what I'm doing with it.
That's how it starts.
tinker with it. When you start tinker with it, like with anything else,
Where someone asked, can I buy through day trading, master day trading?
yes. Somebody asking a bot do day trading, and I want to say yes. There are bots right now taking a lot of people a lot of bread doing day trading. And I want to say, yeah, man, I'm proud of you for taking the information and applying it in Connecticut, your knowledge, and making those. You're gonna have more breakthroughs upon more breakthroughs, especially after the 72 hour boot camp. You know what I mean? You're gonna be lit. So keep pushing, keep tinkering, keep being fearless. You know what I mean? Go forward, go yonder. I want to introduce you guys. I have a special guest, ladies and gentlemen. This brother goes way back. He's been doing the work with the people for a very long time. You know what I'm talking about? He's very well accomplished, a author, a teacher, a father. You know, he's been doing the indigenous retreats, building in Costa Rica, building bridges for the family to go across and to go to places like Costa Rica and other places outside of America to establish communities. His brother is a special guest of mine today. He was holding it down all day in the building. So I want to bring him to the stage so he can share some information that he has with us. Right? You want to share your screen?
Yeah. Let me get my.
The day that you share it. Where's that?
Please, at least. Have you done?
No, but that's what I'm saying. Like, all of them. Like it's this one. Oh, it's that. I know. I just got to. Yeah,
Yours, and then you go and share screen.
That's all right.
You gotta introduce yourself. Yeah. Hold on.
But
Family, can you hear? Pick up my.
I'm a resident, beautiful. I lived in the woods for 13 years.
There you go.
What's up, family? You hear me? All right. My mom. Good. 3 months old.
Yeah, sure.
Let me see if y'all can hear me. Okay, yeah. Yes. All right. So, yeah, my name is Boy Chan. Now this is like. You're ready to go back. Back. So let me try to share backpacks. So bugging sometimes when I want to share it on screen, I gotta go through the protocol. Yeah, the turn on when the shit green. Never had that. So I'm just gonna do it this way because I mean what but yeah, my name's Boy Shabby, and I've been just blessed to be in this space because not only is it advantageous for us to take advantage of what's coming as here and using it to bring prosperity? But it also has an ancestral root. Um, I've been studying tech. Well, really, I've been studying African history, for 35 years. You might have heard of a magazine called The Ghetto Times. I put that out in 1993. We celebrate, years. I've written 8 books, and one of my latest books is my first novel, and this is a book called 2048. Uh, and it's basically a book that talks about sovereignty and vision, age and control. Big Brother merges with AI, and interestingly enough, I have written a book before that called From Railroads to Robots, and basically talking about the evolution of power and wealth and eugenics role in oligarchs and monopolies. So I've been in this space of like looking for, the African perspective of that, because obviously we've been on the victimized side. And I really want to empower us by knowing that, as you probably already know, damn near everything under the sun has been created by woman, and man has been coming from an African source. So I wanted to share with you this piece that I did, talk that I had, kind of goes into really having a conversation about what AI is and just getting familiar with the totality of what we're facing and the opportunity that it brings. All right, so you might have heard of this saying. It's called "Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times, and good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times." This is said by Michael Hart. And we're in those types of days now where um, we're in a cyclical pattern. When hard things come around, those that choose to survive, survive because they've chosen to get stronger. And I see this also as a cyclical lesson that we just have yet to really get a grasp and stop repeating. And I think we're in a stage right now with AI that we have a chance to probably try to stop this from rotation. So the goal here is to get in a space where we reclaim who we are, what we were, and this time we don't lose it. And it's not to say that it's a bad thing of losing, because even if you go back to the days of the Pushing Nile Valley, um, there were ups and downs. There were 9 periods of civilization where things were good for several thousand years, and you had dynasties that went down. So there were parts where they got high off the hog, forgot their morals and being a little bit neglectful in regards to maintaining the way, and lost it. So we're in that stage now where we see this shift happen. And this with AI, I think empowers us in a space where now we have opportunity to create sustainability. We have an opportunity to break ourselves away from the rat race. One of the things I also do is I teach financial therapy. I have a department called Applicable Financial Sustainability Movement. And I'm always talking about the lack of introduction to finance, something we were never given. We were never told how to use it as a tool. We were told to basically as an instrument, go out and get it and pay for business and myself. So we're here to break all of those myths, because there are people that do it and have been doing it for generations. They just said not our persuasion, but because of all the pillow talk, the information is available now for us to also take care of. So when we look at the art of study, history is always written by the winners, and we know that history is basically a fable read upon. That's why it's important for us to become the teller of our story. Else it's going to be written or calibrated by someone or something else. Right? My Jackman Anthony Browder talks about in his poem Transition 14, how there was a stage where we once knew and then we forgot. And I'm just going to read this real quick, right? Transition 14, the onset principle. In the beginning of our ancestors knew not, they studied. For 4,000 years, they learned all there was to know, and they taught others. Then came the Ma'afa, the great disaster. The slaves made it illegal for Africans to read and write. They were forced to forget all they had learned and taught. After 400 years of forgetting, they forgot that they had forgotten. But that changes today. I will remember for them. I will read for them. I will write for them. And I will teach for them. We will make certain they are never forgotten again. We are the proudest scholars. We are the vessels through which our ancestors will live and breathe and do their best works. So in order for us to do these type of works, we must become I like to call it Sankofa futurologists. I'm saying we need to think about how important it is for us to reach back and see the other greatness that we have, pull that and bring it into today's world moving forward. Because if you understand where he's going, Jim Rohn says it best. If you don't design your own life plan, chances are you'll fall into someone else's plan. And guess what they had planned for you? Not much. All right? So we with what's going on with tech, AI, the future, or be left with whatever they will give us. That's if there's anything for them to give us in the first place. So for me, it's not about, I want to put a hard date on it. We're looking at 2030. We must be in place by 2030. We have 3.5 years to get our shit right. Or we definitely are not going to be in a space where we can ever come out of that. So there's an urgency for us to not only take this as a means of, hey, I want to create content and I want to be this influencer or whatnot. We need to actually reset the space of how we are viewed in this world. And what better way for us to be the vanguard of that story? Right? So this digital divide is by design. I always talk about the systemic design of things. And the real issue is not race, it's positioning in the digital economy. And positioning comes down to a couple things: early exposure, the environment that you live in, educational systems, and financial condition. This is why I always talk about the importance of our need to have financial therapy. Because as a financial therapist, I understand also that we have not been introduced to money, and so we've been a slave to it. And even now, if we as we do well, even in this space of AI, what do we do with those funds? Are we going to use it to splurge on buying, whatever, makes us look good or feel good? Or are we going to think about investing in land and infrastructure? Because that's what everybody else is doing, and that's how they have their sovereignty. So in order for us to get any kind of inkling of that, we must think bigger than that, think bigger than ourselves, and think of it from a company perspective. So exactly, generational wealth. So I like to use the terminology of, and I don't want to get into a war of what we call ourselves because the rest of the world sees us as Black people, but I'm gonna use POATIS as my acronym, meaning people of African descent in the United States, because everybody in America that's Black isn't from America, but we live here. And so when I'm speaking to us, I call us POATIS, and we have a slightly lower in averages, obviously, largely due to gaps, but not capability. We're not stupid. We're not dumb. We just don't have access to the opportunities. So this is where we start to change the game. But when you look at the stats, we can see digital divide is based upon the fact that a lot are less likely to have home computers, reliable broadband. The gap directly impacts skill development and early in life. So not having access to this kind of puts us behind the 8 ball already. Then you throw in education and pipeline effects. Asians are more represented in STEM degrees, tech career pipelines. A lot of us don't even know what STEM is or just getting put on to what it is. And that stands for science, technology, engineering, and math. And so on the A for STEAM, it's arts. But there's many more that are in it I could talk about. But I'll wait on that, do that another time. Economic layer, the device ownership, software exposure, and coding and advanced skills. These are things that we're low on the totem pole as far as being exposed to. So when we start to understand that this is the blueprint or the black print of what's created this digital divide. And if we hone in on these type of things, we'd have a better chance of the way things are happening in the world. So this is where you see the evolution of the oligarch. As Laura Neil Hurston said it best: one who makes the idol never worships them. All right. So what world are we living in? We're living in what's called a secular. Strauss-Howe generational theory states that big events happening in cycles happens every 21 years, every generational archetype. Right? So each generation has a new period. It's about 21 years. It brings in different social, political, and economic changes. These periods are part of a longer cycle. This longer cycle is called a secular, and that usually lasts about 85 years. If you think about roughly 85 to 100 years ago, and you know anything about Rockefeller, I wrote this in my book, From Railroads to Robots. He put together this plan. He wasn't just an oil tycoon. He housed the educational system, the health system, pharmaceuticals. They totally changed the way we take care of ourselves. And as a result of that, we can see today we have the highest obesity rates. We have high stress. We're very inactive in regards to even being, and we've lost our mojo in trying to live and be the best of our summer bones, as they would say in Kenneth, being your best self. That's all systemically designed, and it's called a sacrum. That's what creates the hard times that create the strong men that create the good times that create the weak men, and the weak men that create the hard times. We're in that space right now where weak men have created these hard times. But the beautiful thing about it is these hard times are going to create some very strong men and women. I'm going to throw in there. They're not including the women, and we need the women, most importantly. All right. So we're in this fourth industrial revolution, started also known as Industry 4.0. It's a rapid tech advancement in the first century, including artificial intelligence, robotics, and Internet of Things, biotech, and quantum computing, which blur the lines between physical, digital, and biological worlds. An extension of this is in Industry 3.0, which is the information age. But many fail to recognize that AI cannot exist without an IA. IA, information age, itself echoes a deeper origin, an older AI, and that's ancestral intelligence. The first form of knowledge, wisdom, and data passed through generations. Right? So Industry 3.0, this information age, AI isn't new. It began as early as 1947 with transistor radios and Claude Shannon's information theory paper. And in 69, they had the ARPANET, which is Advanced Research Projects Agency Network that was put out by the U.S. Department of Defense. So that's when they started really monitoring people with Big Brother. 1971 and 75, we had microprocessors and PC developments. And in 1991, we had the invention of the release of the World Wide Web. This is some points that I make in my book, 2048, Sovereignty and Age of Control with Big Brother Merges with AI. In a world by AI, freedom runs on forgotten frequencies. Between the algorithm and the ancestors lies the key to sovereignty. The there's to own unless you forget who you are. And when memory becomes weapon, the ancestors rise. Culture is the last code no machine can predict. So I want to show you in the next slide about how powerful we really are. When we break down this Industry 3.0, this information age, it began in the 20th century. And see, these are the things that we've seen. If you're old enough, you can remember how we lived without these things and how they now have become the everyday of our lives, right? Part of everyday. Core technologies like transistors and microprocessors, digital computers, fiber optic communication, and the web. The economic shift, we saw values move from manufacture of physical goods towards information, data, software, and knowledge-based services, which is called the knowledge economy. The communication change was instant. Global exchange of digital info and massive scaling of publishing content, social media streaming, cloud services, email. Social impacts, new forms of work. Now you can work remotely. You got gigs, platform work, changes in education and media entertainment landscapes. And then there's technological consequences, the digitation, miniaturization, network effects, and rapid technological obsolescence. Some of the also overload and attention scarcity, misinformation, privacy and data control issues, digital inequality, and concentration of power in major tech platforms. We've seen all these changes in the last 30 years. All matter. It matters because is the new oil and China is the new Saudi Arabia. It took just one generational archetype, this secular, to make information the primary economic resource and a factor of production. Institutions, politics, business models, and daily life are restructured around data flows and connectivity. Think about that. Ongoing technology advances like AI, Internet of Things, biotech continue to push the era into new phases, raising both opportunities as well as ethical regulatory questions. Think about how we socialize, especially when you look at the younger demographics. They barely looking at each other. Everybody's glued on their phone, right? And it's as though we're like packed like these sardines now. Everybody's packed into doing the same. You could be a bunch of people around you, but nobody's talking to each other. They're talking to the phone. virtually, opposed to being in real time. Right? So if we are upon this completion of this current seculum, it is apparent there's an opening of change on the horizon. We must do so with original AI in mind, and that being ancestral intelligence. Not only are we older than AI, we are the original AI, ancestral intelligence. Now is the time to study up on our ancient oral and written histories, for it may actually save us. In messages embedded is memory, and it serves as a memoir that bonds us through time. So all we need to do is really look back, Sankofa, and see what we've done and apply that to where we're going. But before that, let's talk about what AI is, because most people hear about it but never really had that conversation about, what is it really. Artificial intelligence is when computers or machines are designed to think and learn like humans, allowing them to do things such as recognize speech, make decisions, and even play games. It's trained to notice patterns, make predictions, and get better over time by learning from examples instead of following step-by-step instructions like traditional algorithms. It's like giving a computer a brain so it can help us with tasks or find information more easily. All right. Who invented AI? 1950, Alan Turing developed the Turing Universal Machine. Now, the basic question was, can machines learn? In 1956, AI was coined. The phrase was coined by John McCarthy during a conference at Dartmouth College. In 1966, the first chatbot, Eliza, came on the scene. Jumping to 97, we see Deep Blue defeats Kasparov at chess. And 1999 was really important because I read this book on the right here. You see Abe the Spiritual Machine by Ray Kurzweil. And that book, if you read it, I thought this guy was like an advocate against the AI. And when you first read it, you're thinking that, like, he's like, look, we're doomed. Like, but we got to fight against things we can do, only to find out that Google hired him 11 years later, 12 years later, and he's been heading their engineering department ever since. So you want to know how Google came up on the scene with this guy right here? Has a lot to do with the coding, a lot of things that's been, he has a lot his hand in. So it's one thing to be informed about what's happening, and then someone who you think is a whistleblower actually be the person that chooses to profit over it and manifest these things. It's like when we watched the Terminator, and the owner of the Terminator, the corporation, he knew that it was going to be a bad thing, but he still went and did the business. Yeah. Because he wanted the profit. So it's here, it's happening. Right. 2011, wins Jeopardy. 2014, AI creates images and audios and we start seeing deep fakes. 2018, BERT and self-driving car taxis, and then 2018 and 23, we see LLMs evolve into what now we see a Chat GPT and Grok and Gemini. But here's where it really gets important. When we think about LLMs is trained on gigantic amounts of text, books, websites, code bases, threads, and articles, right? Simply put, they don't think like humans. What they do is they take this information and they predict it word for word, and even imagery, right? We see it helping us, but actually we've been helping it. We've been feeding it. It's actually siphoning from us our experience, and they call it deep learning. So I've been on this campaign of pushing the fact that there's a need for more Black writers to tell our story because there's not enough. Why? Because LLMs pull information from the internet. And if we're not telling our story, if someone puts in a prompt, tell me about something about Black life, and it wasn't written by a Black person, then it's a biased opinion. Right? So if someone wants to say, oh, Black people are a bunch of monkeys and shiftless, lazy, like they did with the books that they put in the history books, if someone wants to learn about us and they go to Chat GPT or whatnot, and this is what they're going to tell them because we haven't put our story out there, or there's not enough of us putting the stories out there. So that's why it's very important as writers, as creators, as artists, as designers, we need to flood the internet with our experience to teach LLMs to represent us correctly. Else, we're going to be continuing the same thing we've been seeing in our school systems. So that's the part of deep learning that's important. It works by using artificial neural networks that attempt to replicate the way biological neurons operate in the brain. Everything on this planet is created off the human body, and most likely it's a melanated one. Okay. So these networks are composed of layers, an input layer that receives data, one or more hidden layers that process it, and an output layer that produces the result. As data passes through these layers, the network learns to identify patterns, relationships, and structures that would be difficult to capture with traditional programming. So, similar to how a child learns to recognize animals by looking at many different pictures, hearing names, and mimicking their sound, a deep learning model gets better from being exposed to large amounts of examples. Right? So, what's next? We know about AI. Some of us may not know about AGI, artificial general intelligence. It's a type of AI that can understand, learn, and apply knowledge across different tasks, much like a human can. And it means a machine could potentially do anything that we can do. Right now, we're on the keyboard with AI, but in a minute, we're going to be walking side by side with AI. So they're going to be doing just the same things with the same tasks that we can do. So you think about your job, it's not secure, and it's expected to launch 2030 to 2050. The next level is ASI, artificial super intelligence. Goes beyond that. It's when AI becomes much smarter than the best human minds in every area, including creativity, problem solving, and emotional intelligence. Essentially, it's AI that surpasses human abilities entirely. So we're talking about a whole new being or set of beings on this planet. And how will we be able to, I don't know how we're going to be being able to coexist, peacefully even. Hopefully we can if we get in as programs, and we can. By consuming and just being entertained, and it's not gonna look good for us. But what you shouldn't want to keep your job anyway, because they can let you go when they want to, right? Um, estimates that suggest that automation could lead to nearly 25 million jobs being lost globally over the next 5 years. 25 million, particularly in the manufacturing, retail, and transportation, and those white collar jobs. So this is all about businesses that understand it's smart for them to go ahead and make their labor force, because if they want to stay in a profit, they don't have to worry about a robot getting an attitude. They don't have to worry about a robot wanting to have a vacation or wanting to get paid more or having an 8-hour shift. It work 24/7, and when you break down, I'll bring another robot in and take your place. So businesses that want to stay viable and more profitable, because that's what they're in business for, they're not there to make friends. Is we're going to see more and more people losing their jobs in replacement of automation. Again, this is the reason why of those few years we have left, we must get our finances right. We must get our financial therapy on so we can understand this is not about the safety net of wanting to go live in the Bahamas or blow your money, but like invest in the Bahamas. How about that? Invest in the land, invest in villages so that we can live hybrid or off grid if we want to. That's where we should be taking our nest egg years and focusing. So, how does AI affect urban areas? Well, obviously, you might have heard of the high water demand. AI data centers are requiring large amounts of fresh water for cooling the servers, and they're pulling the money of the water from communities that are mainly in black neighborhoods. It said that 10 queries on ChatGPT can evaporate water equal to a 16-ounce bottle, raising sustainability concerns as demand rises. Many AI data centers are located near low-income urban communities, increasing existing environmental injustices, burdening these areas with pollution and health risks while worsening resource disparity. Water depletion and access challenges, where high water consumption of data centers can create local shortages, forcing communities into competition for water, heightening health risks. This is made worse by systemic barriers that limit access to clean water, forcing reliance on bottled alternatives that also pose health risks. So if you know anything about plastic, you know anything about Rockefeller, you know that the oil runoff is plastic is a monetized product from his poisoned oil runoff. He didn't want to pay regulations. fees because back in the day they didn't have regulation. He was just dumping the waste in lakes and streams and on land, and they were catching fire and whatnot. So they said, "Look, we got to shut you down and fine you." He said, "No, I'm not going to do that. What I'm going to do is I'm going to monetize everything. I'm going to create plastics. I'm going to create nylon. I'm going to create rubber." They basically made all these products that we now have become accustomed to. And so our bodies are being exposed to these things. And if you think about water containers, anything in plastic, when it changes temperature, drastic temperature changes. For instance, when they're shipping it in the airplane, you know, the higher you go up, it's colder. But when you come back down to land, if it's a summer day, that heat exchange hits that plastic and the plastic leaches into the water. Not to also mention, they'll stock the barrier, like loads of water on a dock and it'll sit there for weeks, hitting sun and hitting cold at night over and over again. And then we get it and we think it's going to be good because when we get it, we make it cold and drink it again. So we're poisoning ourselves, not even realizing. These are the types of things that we're exposed to. Amazon just invested $25 billion in a Mississippi data center last week. This is a black neighborhood, $25 billion. And so where do you think they're gonna get the water from, or where do you think the water's gonna go rather, to keep all these servers down from overheating? Google just dropped 4.75 billion to buy an entire energy company just to power its AI data centers. Right? I mean, Amazon just put $11 billion data center in St. Joseph County, Indiana. So they're buying up land where near water, where black people live, and pushing us out. Or they're gonna rid us of access to these resources because computers are more important than human lives, black lives, I would say. And then you go to the next level. You got Elon Musk and Jeff Bezos competing with SpaceX and Blue Origin, where they're trying to build data centers in space. And with that said, Elon even has the caucasity to think that he could put out something that's going to shield the sunlight from hitting the earth because he wants to cool the planet off. It isn't just because he wants to cool the planet off, it's because it's getting too hot for these troglodytes. And they understand that their days are numbered. So the scary thing about it, though, is that he has the financial capability, the resources to do it. That's the scary thing about it because he gets all these government contracts. So here's my resolve for 2030. We are our solution. If you're familiar with this symbol, there's the Akobin horn. That's the war horn for vigilance, awareness, hope, loyalty, and action to one's nation. I'm calling all artists, whether you're a teacher, a painter, graphic designer, illustrator, video poet, lyricist, musician, a healer, a shaman, Reiki, herbal, astrologist, physical trainer, combat, tech, if you write code, you hack, IT, cloud, AI, engineers, farmers, agricultural, architect, constructor, permaculture, city planners. It's time that we come together and start figuring out what 2030 and beyond looks like. Bring our skill sets into a communal space that can be sold out and scaled to all around the world. We can actually have a say so in the way that we choose to live our lives forward. This all starts as everything in the mind, and the universe is mental. This is what Wayne Chandler talks about. So I believe that we're spiritual beings having that human experience. We chose to come back for a purpose. And now I think it's the time for us to get in alignment with our son. Why did you really choose to come back here? I think I know why now for me. So it's really figuring out what are we going to do in this space and time to make it easier for our remaining years and for those bloodlines that follow us. So I want to talk about